The last few years have brought unprecedented challenges, opportunities, and evolution for companies of all sizes. For mid-sized companies, this has been a game changer. In fact, the pandemic served as an accelerator for a number of initiatives that were perhaps just wishes and dreams for mid-sized companies prior to the pandemic, but are now very much the reality for these businesses today. By far, no other force is driving more significant change and the future opportunities for mid-sized companies than digital transformation. Before I get into this episode, let me tell you about the Digital Revolution YouTube channel. In order to support this audio podcast and other content on digital business topics, I've established a channel to grow a community of others interested in digital transformation topics. So after this podcast ends, please follow the posted link and become a Digital Revolution channel subscriber. And now let's get into this episode's content. The National Center for Middle Market, NCMM, actively monitors the state of technology implementation and digital change at mid-sized companies. A focus that began in 2019, even before the pandemic hit, the center defines the middle market as companies with revenues between 10 million and 1 billion annually US dollar. A wide range for sure, but representative of the middle third of US private sector in terms of GDP and employment. While the scale of the technology investment can vary greatly across mid-sized companies and industries, there are still common issues of relevance for mid-sized company leaders across the spectrum as they consider making a move towards an increasingly digital future. Perhaps most notably, resources, capital, people, time are always an issue. Resources are typically more constrained in mid-sized companies than in larger enterprises, where digital transformation is often strategically managed by a dedicated department or team. On the other end of the spectrum, small businesses aren't typically in a position to even need such platforms, so the resources challenge is unique to the middle market. Another challenge is that the reality in most cases, the trendy digital systems and tools are either too expensive, not scaled appropriately for current needs, and/or require a great deal of support to implement and possibly maintain. So how should mid-sized company leadership teams think about navigating technological changes given the very real limitations they face? Research suggests that whether your business is just starting to think about becoming more digital or is already somewhere down the path, there are some important considerations to keep in mind to help ensure a better fit and return on investment. Here are 5 keys for mid-sized companies to achieve successful digital transformation. Key 1, platform. Are you investing in something entirely new, or are you bolting on new capabilities to a system already in place? Either way, allocating more budget to innovation, strategic development, and business analytics over daily management of the business will generate greater long-term return. Key 2, budget. With limited resources for investment and possible financial barriers with access to capital being difficult given rising interest rates, are sufficient budgets being allocated in the right ways? Depending on the systems involved, return on investment can take longer to achieve. Consider what trade-offs might be required based on the most pressing priorities: security, efficiency, productivity, analytics, and so forth. Key 3, processes. Are the investments being considered comparable with customers and suppliers? A secondary benefit of technology implementation is streamlining connectivity and creating end-to-end visibility in the supply chain. For instance, picking a system based solely on cost or provider might not be the right approach if your upstream and downstream partners are doing something different. Think about what might need to change by process mapping key functions. Key 4, people. Does your company have the right digitally skilled workers to not only help implement, but subsequently support and run the technology? Latest research has found that over 90% of companies said they currently have a slight to significant digital skills gap. In the short term, using implementation partners and consultants can help fill the void, but take time to think through the long-term talent plan. And key 5, risk management. With new technology comes the potential for new exposures. Have you evaluated the key risk and developed the proper security measures to protect your most vital digital assets? Using a trusted partner can be very helpful in identifying blind spots or new threats that might not have existed in the old setup. These 5 considerations will invariably differ across organizations, but regardless of the nuances for any individual middle market company, leadership should also take a step back to consider some broader questions as the company navigates its own digital journey. These strategic questions include: to what extent do you aspire to be among the leaders in your industry in creating business value from digital technologies? In which ways of the business are we leaders in our industry? In which areas are we lagging behind our peers? Does our company have a digital vision that is clear and comprehensive, widely understood internally and externally by employees, customers, and partners, and used to guide strategic decisions? Does our company have a strategy to use digital technologies to achieve competitive advantage, increase revenue, and use capital more efficiently? Careful consideration and alignment across mid-sized companies on these underlying premises can lead to remarkable results. For instance, in the NCMM report, The Case for Digital Transformation, companies with self-described highly strategic digital transformation processes grew at notably fast rates than their peers. In the same study, it showed that larger companies of excess of 100 million or more in annual revenue are generally further along in the digital journey, which is reasonably given their scale and access to resources when compared to lower middle market organizations. Make no mistake, navigating technological change and implementation can be challenging, even for large enterprise companies. However, with the right mindset, strategic approach, and willingness to leverage outside resources as needed, mid-sized companies can lean into change with eyes wide open, focused on extracting the most, if not all, of the benefits of digital transformation to drive greater efficiency, collaboration, and growth in an increasingly competitive world. I hope that you found value in listening to this episode. If so, please make sure to give it a like, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you could share this podcast with a connection or colleague who needs to listen to what I covered. Make sure to subscribe to the Digital Revolution channel on YouTube and set your notifications to all so that you won't miss any new audio podcasts or videos that are released on the channel. If you have any topic recommendations for the Digital Revolution with Jim Kunkel podcast, you can email me at jim@jimkunkel.com.